What's up guys, welcome to Data Refinement. Today's video, we're going to go over why you can double your money as a reseller and still be broke. So please smash the like button, consider subscribing. We'll see you in the show. So for this example, I'm going to give you guys three models, and I think most resellers fall into these three models. So the first one is the everything seller that focuses on first class light items. So shipping in this model is going to be around $6, and the cost of goods is going to be around $8. And this is you buying items from garage sales, thrift stores, flea markets, discount stores. You're going to be spending roughly $8 per item. In the second model, it's the same thing as the first model for where you find these items. I just call this an everything seller with priority shipping. So this is going to be shoe sellers or hard goods sellers that have a little bit extra shipping cost. So instead of $6 like the first model, it's $10 for the second model. And the third model is going to be people who buy their items by the pound, like at the Goodwill bins, or they buy items in liquidation, like big bulk lots that come in, or maybe they're buying items that they find at garage sales. So the cost of goods is going to be much lower. They're only paying maybe $2 per item on average, maybe a little bit lower, but some of the items will be thrown away. So let's call it a cost of goods of $2. And generally people who shop at the bins, their shipping costs are a little bit lower. So for this example, we're going to be using $6 as the average shipping cost. Now these three models are drastically different because the way to double your money is much different. So I'm going to go over all three models separately in this video. So please smash the like button, consider subscribing. Maybe comment down below which of these three sellers you are. The everything seller selling first class, the everything seller selling heavier items like priority mail, and the third model is the person buying the items specifically that are really cheap, under $2. So the under $2 model or the regular thrifter model, let me know in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys. Let's get into it. This first model is 90% of resellers. It's the everything seller with the first class mail average. So this is people out there at garage sales, thrift stores, flea markets, spending an average of $8 per item, and they're looking for things that are really lightweight to ship. So you might have things as lightweight as 1 or 2 ounces, and that shipping is going to be about $4. Maybe you pick up a few sweaters and a few jackets that fit into a padded flat rate envelope. Those are around $8. So let's say an average of around $6 for shipping. Now this model is pretty interesting because I have put in here a full-time income of $52,000 requiring a 1,500 item store. So you selling a third of your items, if you're making $8 per item, you're essentially doubling your money. So you spend $8 and you get $8.60 back in this example when you sell it for 30. So 8 into 30, you're essentially doubling your money. Now the problem with doubling your money is you buy one item, you go out, you turn your 8 into $16. Now you go out and you buy 2 items instead of 1 item. So essentially in this model, you only have 60 cents left. So that's not enough to really pay your bills. And the problem is, most people think that they're earning money because they're doubling up each time they buy something, but it doesn't leave enough meat on the bone. So in this example, with 1,500 items in the store and an average daily listing habit of 17 items, this is already at reseller nirvana. So this store is optimized. 17 items are sold each day and 17 items go up each day. So the store actually has no growth. It just stays about the same size. Now, of course, there aren't going to be any stores that sell exactly 17 and list exactly 17. It's going to be a give or take. This is an average model. So don't look at this model as a strict formula. Look at this model as just a framework for how you operate your business. So you can see here, you are at doubling your money. It costs $12,000 to build this store. And when you're at that reseller nirvana, you're actually making about $143 profit per day. That's just enough to double the size of your store. Now, there's another model here where we're talking about tripling. So people here who are just starting, people who are learning reselling, I always recommend look for a better move, the best move. So you're going to go out when you're first starting and find items where you can double your money, but I encourage you to take your time and wait a little bit longer, do a little bit more research, and look for something where you can triple your money, because this is a much different situation. So in this same example, buying the same number of items, you can actually make $102,000 a year, which is 6 figures, not buying any additional items, by just buying items that sell for $40. So I want to break this down because it's really important to understand why we're doing this. In the first example, you buy something for $8, sell for $30. At the end, you have $8.60 profit. You can go out and buy 2 items, so you're growing your store, but you have no money. In this bottom example, you buy something for 8, you sell it for 40. This is going to be much more difficult to find, so you need to spend more time sourcing to find this type of item, but buy for 8, sell for 40. Now instead of having $8 profit, you have $16 profit. Okay, so in this example, you can double your items in your store, so you can buy 1, sell that 1, buy 2, and still have money left over either to pay your bills or to buy an additional item. So in the first example up top, you buy 1, sell it, then buy 2. In the bottom example, you buy 1, sell it, then buy 3, or buy 2 and put $8 in your pocket. So it's really, really important to understand the multiples. So if you're out there looking and you understand, okay, 8 into 30, I basically double my money. 8 into 40, I basically triple my money. 8 into 20, I'm just breaking even. So if you have these mental models in your mind when you're going out there and sourcing, you're going to essentially be able to make faster decisions out there in the wild, because oftentimes you're going to need to know immediately whether or not you want to buy an item. And if you have models built into your brain, helps you make decisions out there in the wild. So for example, if something is only $5 and you can easily tell that it's worth over 30, you don't have to even really do any homework. You can just throw that into the cart. That's a really good buy. What messes up a lot of resellers is they buy something for 8 thinking it will sell for 20, and they don't understand that at $20 you're just breaking even. So this is the most common seller, because everything sellers sell stuff as light as 4 ounces, which is the cheapest kind of shipping. That's about $4. And they once in a while find something a little bit heavier, so their average ship price is going to be about $6 in this example. So we're going to transition from this to the next model, which is a little bit more niche, and it's a little bit more common because a lot of people settle in on the higher average sale price items like shoes, like hard goods, like things that cost a minimum of $40 when you resell them. So in this example, we're going to use the average shipping cost of $10. So this model is much different because the shipping cost is $4 higher, and as you guys know, higher shipping means more fees on the total amount, including tax. So you have to be very careful when your average sale price is above $40 and really watch these fees. If you're doing promoted listings, if you're doing any kind of promotion in your store, remember that percentage is calculated on the entire amount, so you have to really be careful of your margins. So the most common category in this priority mail category is shoes, in my opinion. So the common shoe model is to buy for 10 and sell for 40. Now, in this example, you do double your money. You take your $10 bill, you sell for 40, essentially $10 in fees, $10 in shipping, you're left with $20. You turned your 10 into 20. Now, in this example, if you take 1 shoe, sell 1 shoe, go out, now buy 2 shoes, you essentially only have 80 cents left. There's no money left in your pocket. You can see here the cost of starting this store with the priority mail is more than the old store. This store, the priority mail store, costs $15,000 to start this store. The store where you add in a little bit of first class is only about $12,000. So it costs more to sell more expensive items for the same profit. So it's important to understand that. So when you're doubling your money, 10 and the 40, you're still broke. You buy 2 shoes instead of 1, and you have no money left in the bank. To get to that triple, which is what we're looking for, and if you guys haven't joined our Patreon, it's at patreon.com/theresellerspodcast. If you join the group, there's a podcast called Advanced eBay where it goes over how you can safely grow your store. And we talk about how you should reinvest your profit into buying more inventory instead of taking money out of your pocket. But at this 10 and the 40 model, there's not a lot to reinvest. That's why you need to aim for the triple, which is kind of unrealistic in my opinion, because buying a used pair of shoes for 10 and then averaging $52 on the flip side is very high, kind of unrealistic in my opinion. This is the model. In the morning call, one of our members, Ben, has the 10 in the 50 model, and he does specifically toys. So we had talked about going thrifting and going to garage sales to find items. What Ben has done is he's actually buying collections and paying a little bit extra on toys that at the thrift store might be worth $10 to $7 to check out. He's paying on average $10 per item and convincing his customers to sell the entire collection at his house. So this is an interesting model because 10 into 50 with $10 shipping, in my opinion, is very difficult at the thrift store because it just takes a long time to find these items. $50 items aren't that common online, so I think maybe a more sustainable way of doing this is what Ben is doing with those constant ads out, letting people know that you're buying these types of items, so you become known in your area as the toy guy, as the shoe person, as the jewelry person. So people will reach out to you when they have a big lot of something, and you can start either bulking items together or figuring out ways to really bring in only the good stuff and being at that $50 average. Just in my experience, this model is more difficult to sustain than like a $30 model in the previous example, but it still works. So the 10 to 52 model leaves plenty of money in your pocket. It is the most expensive of the models to run, but it makes the most sense as far as like, this is the least amount of work, most profit model of the three. It's just hardest to find supply. So finally, this is the bins model. This is where a lot of resellers play, which is they go find their items for really cheap, 50 cents, $1, $2. Now, I like to round the cost of goods up on this one to $2 because when you're buying items this cheap, it's really easy to accidentally buy 10, 20, 30 items for a quarter or 10 cents each that you never get around the listing, or when you list them, they don't sell. Items that are this cheap generally have a high discard percentage, so like a bunch of them you're going to end up throwing away, a bunch of them you're going to end up lotting up, which increases the cost of goods. So we're going to definitely use a $2 average cost of goods here, even if you get your items close to free. So $2 for the cost of goods. To double your money, you only need to sell it for $15, including shipping. So as far as skill goes, this is the easiest reseller flip. Buy for 2, sell for 15, including shipping. Without shipping, it's like buying for 2 and selling for $9.99 plus shipping. That's about where this model comes into play, and you easily double your money. You turn your $2 into $4. The problem with this model is that it can take a long time only making $2 at a time. Even though you're making a great margin, so a good percentage, you're not making a lot of total profit. So even though in this example, listing 17 items a day, you're only making $38 profit a day, and that's working pretty hard to make less than minimum wage. The only upside to this is if you're starting with no money, you might have to grind. So I want a couple of things to happen here. One, if you only have a limited amount of money, so let's say that you have $10, I might encourage you to really take your time and find a $40 item to flip versus buying 10 $1 items to flip. It may sound like turning $1 into $3 and tripling your money is a lot, but it doesn't add up very fast. So in this example, to triple your money, you're going to sell your item for $18, including shipping. So in this example, you're turning $2 into $6, which is a really fantastic return. But honestly, 2 into 6 still doesn't add up very fast. So my recommendation, if you're going to play in this bins model, which is primarily the model that I play in, you're going to want to be at $15 plus shipping minimum. So that's going to give you at least a $5 profit, and you can work with that. You can build a business around selling stuff for $15 to $20 plus shipping, because it gives you enough meat on the bone to continue to grow your store, and you don't have to sell literally thousands and thousands of items. You can have a reasonable listing goal of 30 to 50 a day in these smalls. I call these smalls because they're easier to list. So 30 to 50 items in the smalls is equivalent to like 10 to 20 bigs. Bigger item, more profit. So you can choose. Do you want to spend a majority of your time listing, or do you want to spend a majority of your time shopping? These 3 models are the most common reselling models. Finding stuff for really cheap, under $2, or going out thrifting, focusing on light items, or focusing on a little bit heavier items. These are the 3 different models. Again, let me know in the comment section below where you spend your time. If you're looking for more help, join our Patreon at patreon.com/theresellerspodcast. I'll also put a link here to the overview, which is bit.ly/TRP guide. You can go here and look over all the different calls that we offer, all the different trackers we offer. This calculator that I built will also be in there for you to take a look at, and I definitely recommend being at 30 items a day. And the reason is because there's a little bit of an untold expense that's in here, which is the admin. So I recommend adding $1 admin to every single one of your items, and people have been asking me, what is that $1 for? Also in this, I added $1 for rent. But the admin is stuff that you don't really account for, that I recommend that you guys account for it anyway. This is items that you end up losing, items that you end up keeping for yourself. This is bookkeeping costs, accounting costs. This is repair costs, grading costs. There are always expenses required when you're running a business that you don't know about, that you can't foresee. So these additional costs, I want you to factor in $1 per 20, which is a lot. It's like 5%. This is sort of shrinkage. This could be for any number of hundreds of different reasons that could cause your profit margin to be lower. So I recommend for you guys a smaller, more expensive store if possible, especially if you're just getting started. I'd much rather you have a 20 item store of good items than a 200 or 300 item store full of junk. So appreciate you guys. Until next time, make progress daily.